Start out with the scrimmage on Saturday. Just your thoughts on it and what happened.
Well, it was a good day. I thought we had a lot of enthusiasm and energy on both sides of the ball. We did some good things on both sides. We did some bad things on both sides. Probably the biggest thing, especially meeting this morning, we had a big personnel meeting, and kind of the same thing on both sides in that the first groups got a chance to be pretty good up front. Then there's a drop off, and it's not that we don't have talent. It's just we just got a lot of coaching to do. Guys learning how to play, learning pad level, just putting it all together. There's a lot of moving parts on both sides, and the more we talk it, the more we show it, the more we walk it, the more we work it. The easier it will become, and the more they'll put it all together. So, but overall, encouraging. I think that our first group offensively, even though we're missing some pretty key ingredients, did a nice job, and they're showing that they're grasping it very well. And then defensively, we're looking at a lot of different things from a call standpoint. Some things don't necessarily match up very well to maybe what the offense is doing, but we're trying to get some things on film that we need to look at and coach off of. But I thought it was a good start. It was a situational scrimmage. It wasn't just a full bore, cut it loose. I mean, we'll do that Wednesday. We've been kind of building up to that. It was, sometimes you go scrimmage, you don't get all the situations covered that you need. So we started out, we did a 1st and 10 plus or minus 4 contest. So it was a winner loser every play, and really worked on that situation. And we came back and we did a 1st and 10, 2nd and whatever situation. And then we did oftentimes one of the areas we don't work enough on is 2nd long. When you do your breakdowns, that comes up a lot more than you think, offensively and defensively. So we had a 2nd and 7, 3rd and whatever, 2nd and 8, 3rd and whatever, 2nd and 9, 3rd and whatever type of work, and I thought that was very good. We did 3rd and long, got some good work at that. We did a 3rd and 3, 2 downs to make it, because we had gotten into some short yardage a couple days before the scrimmage. So just a lot of situational work. It was good. Thought Catanzaro kicked the ball well, and a lot of guys stood out. So encouraged. Today we'll get into kind of finishing up some things installation-wise, red zone, green zone, goal line. Going to do a little 2-minute today, and so we'll have everything covered and leading up to Wednesday, which will be the first just full-blown cut it loose type of scrimmage.
Any players in particular on either side that stood out to you through the first 5 days?
Yeah, encouraging, because we've had a bunch of guys. We've had a bunch of guys. I mean, we've kind of got a group, I'd say 15 or 16 guys on both sides of the ball that they got it and they're giving it, and they're right on schedule. We got a chance to win with those guys. Then there's a group of guys that they're progressing, they're getting better. They just haven't, we just got a lot of coaching, a lot of teaching. We got to keep bringing them. And then there's a group that's kind of stagnant, and that we got to figure out a different way to get something out of some of those guys. But I'm encouraged. Offensively, that first group offensive line just, they jump out at you. Price is doing a nice job at left tackle. He's separated a little bit. Brandon Thomas is one of those guys that's got to come on. He's one of those guys that needs to be a little more physical and play with a little more sense of urgency. But the first group, again, Taj has really stood out. He's shown a lot of poise, and he's grasping things well. The 3 young backs are I thought ran physical. We're still not as tough as we want them yet, but they're progressing. I'd put them in that category of making some progress. We didn't have Nuke on Saturday. He's coming off a concussion that he got on last Wednesday's practice, so he was out Friday and Saturday. And but Jerron has done some nice things. Joe Craig and Bryce McNeil are 2 guys that just got to they're a work in progress because you just got to get them more physical, got to get them stronger. And the two tight ends that have stood out have been Dwayne and Brandon Ford. I've been very impressed with both of those guys. They've made some plays. And our two freshman quarterbacks have it's fast for them right now. It's a fast pace, and as it's gotten faster, they've kind of regressed a little bit. But I think both of them are going to be good players. And then Kalen Davis is a guy that looks like he's going to be able to help us. He's a guy that I think, with some more work this spring and this summer, I think he's going to be in a position to stand out. And defensively, same thing. The first group on the defensive line is very solid. I'm very pleased with Rennie. He's in that starter role for the first time, and he's really responded well, and he's been dependable. Malachi has got it all. He's got it all. He really does, and he tries to give you everything he's got too. Branch is very talented. And, we've got to get him to be a little bit more disciplined. Pleased with the linebackers. Justin Parker's made huge strides. Really, really huge strides. Quandon is probably I'd say if I just had to say one guy right now, I'd say he's probably the best guy. Tig Willard is very, very, he's probably right there with him. Vic Beasley has been very encouraging. He's head swimming, but he's just starting. He plays fast, and he tries, and he picks things up pretty good. So Kevin's been pleased with him. Some of the young guys over there, Joe Gore has shown some really good instincts. Corey Crawford, I think Tavares Barnes, I think he could be a great player. Probably going to move him inside. So I'm anxious to start seeing him maybe get a little bit more work in there at that 3 technique. Spencer Shuey is a guy that's done some good things. He's worked Mike, he's worked Bandit, and I think that's a good cross-train situation for Shuey. So linebacker-wise, and the rest of those guys, they're fine. And out in the secondary, Brewer, Meeks, Hall kind of jump out at me. Those guys that are really having good springs. Cody gives you all he's got. He's a great effort guy. Really pleased with Rashad Breland from the young group. He's gonna help us. Darius and Martin Jenkins both are doing well. But Desmond Brown's got a little ways to go. He's got all the tools, all the talent, but he's just got a lot to learn. He's playing a very tough position. So there's a lot of encouraging things out there, but we just got a bunch of work to do.
Injury-wise, other than Nuke, you know anything else?
No, Nuke'll be back today. He'll be back today. So just the same, Julian Patton, who's a walk-on wide-out guy for us, he's coming off an ACL. And Daniel Andrews coming off an ACL, and then Ellington. Other than that, we should have everybody full board today.
What's Ellington's workload?
Well, I think when we talked, he's been running. We want to go a couple weeks here, running straight ahead. But when we come back from the break, I think they're going to start trying to do some planting and cutting a little bit of that, and just see how he responds. But he's doing good.
So he's just been doing the straight ahead stuff.
Yeah.
You guys are out on the field.
Yeah, it's been all straight ahead running.
Out of the 2 young quarterbacks and the 3 young running backs, anybody separating enough to name names?
Well, it's again the 2 quarterbacks. I guess if you just pin me down, I'd say Cole's probably maybe performed a little bit better, but you're splitting hairs. I mean, it's just real fast for both of them right now, and but they're doing good. They're getting a ton of work, and we got a lot of things over there on the defensive side that comes at these guys. So, and they're learning a new system, and their first time they've stepped on campus, and but it's been good for them, and they'll be much better come fall camp. But I've been pleased with both of them. Tony, one thing I'll say about Tony is you don't know if nothing bothers him. He's very, very poised, and responds very well to coaching. So. But Cole's probably, just if I had to just say if there's just a tiny bit